Yes, we are. After a very long time,
Yeah.
but you know.
Sorry guys for delays. Busy mummy life.
Literally.
Yeah.
That's my favourite word, I think.
No, I say literally a lot as well.
We are going to tell you guys our labour story today, which is like...
Labour story? Labour's stories.
Stories, yeah. I actually remember mine like it was yesterday.
No, I think I choose to forget because of
Do
the
you?
pain. Well, no, I remember still, but I don't like thinking about it.
Yeah, no, so I'll let you go first then.
Really? No,
Because you got 2 to say.
Really? Okay, Connor,
Yeah.
you first. So, I'm going to start with Brandon's one, of course, my first. I didn't know much, so it was like a big effing, obviously.
How old was you?
I was 19, first of all, so you can...
I'm joking.
Teenage mama out here. And I was really, really scared because obviously everyone was telling me how painful it was, and I'm not good with pain, so I was like dreading it. And I kept watching YouTube videos, and in the videos it just looked like the baby would just pop out. So for a minute I thought, yeah, this is going to be easy peasy, like, you know, baby's just going to come out. But I didn't do a lot of walking, and a lot of people would be like, nah, that baby's just not going to come out, it's not going to do this. So I was just freaked out. And you know what? It was the longest 24 hours of my life. I went into labour at, well, I could say my contraction started at 9 o'clock in the morning. I hacked it all the way till 5 o'clock in the afternoon at home. And then I just couldn't take it anymore. And I went to hospital. And I thought, you know what? I'm going to go to hospital and that's it. My baby's going to come because I can't take it anymore. It took another 12 hours in hospital. Contractions. I didn't break water.
Stress.
Yes. I didn't break water. So they had to, I think they had to do it for me. Yeah. And apparently that makes it harder during labour.
Apparently it hurts more.
So it was just long, and I had my mum there and my partner at the time, and they were a lot of support, but at the time I didn't even care who was there because I was in so much pain. I was on gas and air the whole time because I refused to take any other pain reliefs. But at the time of labour, I was like, I want epidural, I want cesarean. I wanted the lot because I could not handle the pain. I was like, just cut me up, please. I can't do this, please. I beg you. They were like, Andrea, we can't because whatever reasons. And then towards the end of the labour, when Brandon was here now with us, which was a very amazing moment. He was such a chubby baby. He was big. He was 8 pounds, by the way. So you can imagine how much that hurt. I think I'm just gonna be so expressive of how it was. The sting you feel when the head is coming out.
Yeah,
is just,
people say that.
It feels like there's someone's burning you literally with a lighter. I was just like, what is going on down there, please? And the thing is, because it took so long for the baby to come out, and I had a clock on the right in front of me.
Yeah.
So you can imagine the whole time I was looking like, it felt like 20 minutes and it's only been 5 minutes. And everyone was just like, push. Good thing I didn't have to get no stitches because I had a really good midwife and she would tell me when to push and when not to. But yeah, it was just so long. It was really painful. I tried to have a water birth because that was what my birthing plan was. But unfortunately, I couldn't. I think it's not that the water was too hot, but because I was already really like overwhelmed, I was hot, I was bothered, I couldn't stand the water. I had to come back out, go into the next room, and then with Anna now.
No, I'm gonna do mine.
Are you gonna do it?
Anna.
Okay,
yeah.
Go on then. All right, girl.
I had my daughter on the 13th of September 2016. But my due date was the 17th of September, so she came early. All throughout my pregnancy, I was really still early. It doesn't matter if it's even one day. All throughout my pregnancy, I was active, I must say. Like every barbecue, I wanted to be there. Every party, I wanted to be there. Every rave, I slightly wanted to be there. I wanted to be everywhere because in my mind, I was actually suffering from FOMO, like fear of missing out. I wanted to go everywhere. And I was thinking, this is the last time that I'm going to be able to like live my best life before the child comes. So every motive, I was there. So yeah, I was really active throughout my pregnancy, hence why I think she came early. They say the more you walk and the more active you are, the more easier it is, like in terms of when you go into labour. So anywho, I remember it was the 12th of September and it was really hot and I was feeling so dizzy the day before. I was just like, oh, I'm tired. I was just constantly tired, which is obviously normal, but this day I was particularly tired. So I was at my brother's house the night before and I was chilling in the front room and I got really hungry and it was like midnight and I was like, let me go make myself a sandwich. So I went to go make myself a sandwich and I felt something wet and I was like, what the fuck? So I went to no, I thought I was thinking,
Yeah,
like,
that's what everyone thinks.
so I went to the bathroom and I obviously like pulled down my pants, sat on the toilet and went toilet and then I wiped myself and it was like, no, sorry, tell a lie. When I pulled down my pants, there was like this, I'm going to be really explicit here, this gooey stuff. So I was like, what the fuck is this? So I took a picture of it and I sent it to my friend who has never had a child, doesn't have no experience. I'm not even going to go into detail, but she's had no experience with this whatsoever. So I took a picture and sent it to her of all people. And I was like, what's this? And she was like, actually texted me, she was like, I don't know, go on Google. So I went on Google and it had explained that my, it's called a mucus plug. So the mucus plug had come away. The mucus plug is what, let's simplify. It holds in your vagina, and when that mucus plug goes, it's almost telling you that you're ready to have a baby. Yeah, it's kind of like a glue that holds everything together. So when it's gone, the baby's ready.
It's like the lid to a pot.
Yeah,
and you open it.
Yeah. So I went on Google and. Ladies, don't go on Google. It's the worst place to go for anything. Like Google will tell you you're dying when you're not. No, it will.
But when it comes to pregnancy, it does help sometimes.
A little bit, but just consult your midwife. Yeah. Literally. So Google had told so women were on like Mumsnet and shit, and they were like, oh, my mucus plug went, and I didn't have my baby till 2 weeks later. So I was like, oh, nothing. Like it's my mucus plug. I still got time.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. And 4 a.m. came and I just felt some sharp pain lick me in my stomach and I was like, I was thinking, ugh. And it's so weird because you're in labour, obviously not active labour, but you're in labour, but I was so in denial. I was like, nah, that's not it. Because I didn't know what I thought it was supposed to feel like.
No, I was the complete opposite. Once I felt the contractions, I was like, this is it.
I didn't know what to expect like with labour, so I thought, nah, this can't be it. So obviously contraction hit. My first contraction was at like 4:30 and I just remember AM, and I remember rocking like rocking.
Just imagine her.
But I'm sleeping with my niece in the bed at the time, so I'm trying not to wake her up, but I'm like, ooh. And then I keep on going toilet, constantly needing to go toilet. So I went toilet. By this point, it's number 1, it's number 2, it's vomiting, it's everything all at the same time. Like I'm vomiting. Yeah. Oh. I was vomiting, pooing, weeing, going back, vomiting, pooing, weeing, and then I could hear my brother.
I didn't know we were gonna be that explicit because then I missed out a few points of my
girl. I'm letting it rip out there. So then I could hear my brother like, Shan, you alright? And I'm like, yeah, I'm fine. But by this point, I was like, I don't know, I think I'm in labour, I'm not sure. He's like, do you want me to call the ambulance? I'm like, no, it's fine. So I've gone to lie back down. And by this point, the pain's getting really like sharp. So I've called there's like a 24-hour line, like midwife, whatever that you can call. So I called the midwife and I was like, I think I'm having contractions, and that by this point I had a contraction on the phone. So she was counting it, she was like 1, 2, all these things that they tell you to, like, you're supposed to learn them already. And she was like, right, they're lasting for 30 seconds. When they start lasting for a minute, make your way in. By this point, I still don't know how to count a contraction. And you don't want to count a contraction because you're just in so much pain. You're like, oh,
I don't think
whatever.
Till this day I still don't know how to count a contraction.
I think second time round I would kind of understand, I think. So
I'm
then
too much pain to even.
she was like, when they last a minute, come in. So I was like, cool. But my biggest fear was getting to the hospital and then them telling me that I have to go back home. There would be a war, because I'm not going back home. I've made my way here for a reason. So I thought, right, I'm going to stick it out and I'm going to stay at home till I really feel like I need to go in. So it got to like 8 a.m. and 6, sorry. It got to 6 and I was like, oh, I can't do this anymore. So I got up and I started cleaning the kitchen. And this is something called nesting that women usually have when they're about to, when they're close to giving birth or whatever it is. They start cleaning and just doing some crazy stuff. Like, you can't keep still. So I was cleaning the kitchen top to bottom whilst experiencing contractions, obviously. But I was trying to, like, distract
to keep
myself.
Because that's what I did within the from 9 o'clock in the morning till 5 o'clock in the afternoon. I cooked, I cleaned, I got all the last bits of the baby stuff ready. You just want to distract yourself. Because you know there's no point in going to the hospital.
Exactly, because they will send you back home. So I'm doing all of this stuff. I had phoned my partner and I was like to him, oh, I think I'm in labour. But I had threatened him because towards the end,
sounds so much like her.
Towards the end of my pregnancy, like, if I call you and you do not answer on the first call, you're taking the piss.
That was me as well.
So I always threatened him and said, if we're not together during the time, like, or nearer to the time that I'm about to give birth, like, if I'm not gonna call you and you're gonna miss it, or I'm gonna give you one little drop call and you're gonna miss everything. Like, I threatened him, like, I'm not gonna call you if I go into labour, blah blah blah. Just me being
so much like me.
I
said
witch.
that. No, I said the same. Because I wanted him to be with his phone on his hand the whole time, just in case. You never know.
Of course. So then I called him. Well, I actually contacted him right the time when I had maybe like the first contraction, but obviously it's 4 a.m. He's sleeping. He's not gonna sit till he wakes up. So at 7 I called him. He wakes up and I'm like, oh, I think I'm in labour. But knowing him, and I'm gonna speak for him on this behalf, he probably thought labour's like, babe, yeah. So me saying, oh, I think I'm in labour, he probably thought whatever type of thing, because I just know him. So my brother's left to go and drop my niece to school. When he's left, I've heard him shut the door and key it, which means I was locked in the house whilst having contractions. So by this point, I'm like, hey! But obviously he's gone, and I'm like, I'm locked in. So I'm having to search for my key, and I'm really careless. Like, as soon as I get in the house, I just throw my key anywhere. So I'm searching for my key. I've managed to find my key, open the door, and I've left the front door open because I know if anyone needs to come in, at least they have access to me. So I'm now rocking on this sofa, and my brother's girlfriend has FaceTimed me, and she's like, Shan, I'm phoning the ambulance. And I'm like, no, because by this point, I'm waiting
to be brave.
Not even that, I'm waiting for my boyfriend to arrive. Like, he can't miss this, yeah? So I'm like, no. So I'm phoning him, like, where are you? He's like, I'm coming. I'm on Tower Bridge, I'm coming. I'm like, hurry. So then I'm really, like, pain is really hitting right now, and it's like after 9. So remember, my first contraction was like from 4:30. It's after 9, and she's like, sorry, I'm phoning the ambulance. So she phones the ambulance turn up, they come upstairs, and the guy's like, so sorry, but someone's just had a cardiac arrest, so I'm not actually the ambulance, like, I've just come to take your blood and stuff. And I was like, I need an ambulance. So then by this point, the ambulance turn up. My brother
panicked.
Yeah, my brother turns up, my boyfriend like, everyone turns up at the same time, and the ambulance lady walks up to me and she's like, right, like, testing my blood, or what's it, heart rate, or I don't know, whatever, pressure. But I'm like to her, you stink. And she's like, and I'm like, no, I'm so sorry, I don't know. But because obviously when you're pregnant, everything heightens, like, your senses heighten. She had this perfume or something on her that was absolutely disgusting. I was like, what are you wearing? Like, what are you? I was so upset. She was like, it's just deodorant. I was like, oh, please, you really smell. Like, I can't have you next to me.
But a lot of pregnant women come off perfumes and deodorant during pregnancy. Yeah. I did with Anna.
I was like, I can't have you next to me. So then, I'm on the gas in there. By this point, like, I'm high as a kite. Like, I'm like, this is some good shit. Yeah. So then,
I love gas in
there. It's amazing.
Brandon.
So I got in the ambulance now, and my boyfriend's took out his phone, and he's like, oh, look at her, like, recording in my face. I'm like, are you stupid? Like, what are you doing? This is a serious... I'm in labour here. So then we, in the ambulance, by now it's like after 10. Get to the hospital at 10:30. They've wheeled me up into the labour ward. And they've just... The women, like, their paramedics are like, oh, she's in labour. And, of course, midwives see this stuff all day long. So they're like, just wheel her into that room there. And then I'm just like left in a room for a couple of minutes. Then this lady comes in and she's like strapping these things onto my belly. She's like, I just need to take the baby's heart rate and stuff. And I was like, okay. I was like, it's tight. It's tight. She's like, well, we have to. And I was like, I don't want you to touch me.
Yeah, those things are just so uncomfortable. You just want to take everything off, but they have to monitor the heart. Oh.
And I was like, I'm not being funny. I don't want you to touch me. She was like, well, I have to. I was like, I don't.
Did you say that?
Yeah, I was like, I don't want you. I don't want you. Because I don't know what it is. I just didn't have a good, like,
feeling
aura with her. Yeah, so I was like, I don't. She's like, well, I'm going to have to examine you. So I was like, cool. So she examined me, and I was already 10 centimetres dilated by the time
You're ready.
Which goes to show how long was I 10 centimetres dilated for? I was just sitting at home,
like, waiting
for... Yeah. So then she was like, you're 10 centimetres, you're ready to push. I was like, no, I've already got it planned in my head. I'm having a water birth. I know what temperature I want the room. I know what lights I want the room. I know what music I want to have this child to. And now I'm on the labour ward and they're telling me I have to push. I was like, no, I said I wanted a water birth. She was like, well, you can't now. I was like, no, where's your manager? Like, I was proper angry. So then the woman come and they're like, take her over to the birthing suite. I just don't think they was ready for no smoke that day, honestly. So they've wheeled me over to the birthing suite. Little did I know, it takes like 25 minutes for the water to fill up in the, what's that thing called? The bath.
Yeah.
This is how stubborn I am. I'd rather go through contractions and wait for that water to fill up than to just push. So I'm sitting in the room like rocking with the gas in there. Waiting for the water to fill up because I'm adamant I'm having a water
to come out.
So then the water's finally ready. I've got my music on because I wanted to have her to go with gospel, set the temperature in the room, and then they're like, push, put like that. I get in and she's like, just let nature do its thing. I love my witness. She was amazing, the lady who was in the room. So she's like, let nature do its thing. I got in and it's like the water almost calmed me down immediately. So they were like, you need to push, like your baby's... So I was pushing, I was like, pushing. And then I had like a pop. So I was like, and I was like, where's my baby? Like looking down thinking that... like,
it should come out.
Yeah, but the lady was like, no, that was just your waters breaking. I was like, what? Like, all that pushing for just waters to break. So I started crying and I was like, oh, I can't do this. I was really upset. Then she was like, I would advise you get out so that you can push on land or whatever it is. So I get out and like my aunt's there, the baby's dad's there, and I'm pushing and and everyone's like, push, Shan, push. And I'm like, okay. And he's like, push, Shan. I'm like, I am fucking pushing. And then he's like, raw. Like, anything he said was a problem. Then they're like, breathe. I'm like, he's like, breathe, Shan. I'm like, I am fucking breathing. How do you think I'm still alive? I'm breathing. So then, like, anything he said was a problem. Anything anyone else said, I was like, okay. But bless him, like, he was really good, really supportive. Ended up pushing. And then, like, her head was there. And they were like, oh, my God, I can see her head. And I was like, oh, my gosh. And all I was concerned about is if she has hair. I was like, does she have hair? They were like, yeah, nice. And I was like, oh, my God. Because I was bald. And her dad is currently bald. Don't know what he was like, what state he had when he was born. But I was thinking, no, I just need to have a baby that's got hair. So when they were like, she's got loads of hair. So it was like, that gave me motivation to push more. So I pushed and pushed.
Oh, so if she hadn't had hair, you would have been like, not pushing anymore.
I don't know, but it was just like, yeah, like, this is it. So then I kept on pushing, of course. And then she came. And yeah, it was just an amazing experience. I literally was living off adrenaline for the whole time afterwards. Like, the nurses were coming in like, oh, who just had the baby? And I was like, me. They were like, what? Like, you don't even look like you just had a child. I think I was just so excited, overwhelmed, joyful, had loads of visitors, which I'm happy for. I'm glad they came whilst I was in hospital and not at home, because once you get home you just want the rest.
Yeah.
But yeah, and there you have it. My story.
Just remembered when you said about them, your partner being really supportive. I've got to say, my partner was extremely supportive. He had to go through really, really uncomfortable moments during my labour. He had to keep certain things down.
Yeah, I done a shit. Guys, and that was my
shat
biggest
myself
fear
the whole time throughout my first labour. Both my mum and him were really amazing. I was a complete bitch throughout the whole labour, telling them to just be quiet. I don't want to hear you guys talking. I'm in pain. I'm going to die. If I die, you guys have to look after my baby, because I thought literally that my life was over that day. But yeah, so Annalia came 3 weeks early, so she was due the 5th of August and was born the 13th of July. With Annalia's pregnancy, I was much more active. Yeah, so my baby shower came along, and that was a week before Annalia was born. I said to my mum, I feel like the baby. Mum was like, no, you've got too much time left, blah, blah. I was like, okay. So then a week later, it was the Mark Anthony concert. And of course, Andrea went to salsa. The day after the concert, I went out to buy some stuff, and I said to my mum, the baby's coming. I can feel it. I just felt this pressure. It started to hurt. I was like, no, it's too soon. And I was like, okay, cool. Went home. Next morning, that night around 10, I started feeling contractions, but I wasn't sure if there were contractions, because you get Braxton Hicks as well, so I wasn't too sure. So I was like, maybe it is, maybe it isn't. Around 2, 3, 4, I think between 2 and 4 in the morning, they just started to get stronger and stronger and stronger. I called my mum and I was like, Mum, I'm having the baby today. She's like, no, you're not. I was like, Mum, I'm having the baby today. These times, we still had to get a few bits ready for the baby. I still had 3 weeks, so I didn't have everything ready. It was my second child, so I was much more relaxed.
Yeah.
So then Mum was like, no, I don't believe you. She did not believe me, and I was so angry because she did not believe me. The only person that believed me was my best friend. I called her, I was like, Liz, I'm having the baby today. Like, it's coming. So then I'm at home now. I couldn't move now. We couldn't get into the car. No cabs wanted to take me.
Of course not.
They were like, no, we can't do that. So then we called the ambulance. They came for me. They came to check me on my bed, took me downstairs, got into the hospital, and I got this really horrible midwife that said that I needed to get up from the bed to move to another bed. And then I feel like that...
What, without a wheelchair?
Yeah. And I felt like that made my contractions stop. Not stop, but slow down.
Oh.
Because that's what I felt anyway.
Right.
So then, I don't know, I just felt like after that it took longer. I think I was ready, because when I got there I was like 7 centimetres dilated already. So I got there like around, I can't remember exact times, because where I was in so much pain I wasn't even checking the time. And it only took like 2 hours for Annalia to be born. Obviously she was premature, she's early, and it was that fear. I was so overwhelmed because I thought something was going to be wrong. So I was really, really scared. Again, my biggest fear was pushing out, because I knew how much it hurt. So I was ready. And a lot of people were like, but how could she hurt? She was only 5 pounds. That baby hurt just as much as her brother. I was in so much pain that, again, I was like, I can't do this. And yeah, it was just so amazing to just have her there, because I was so scared that something might go wrong. After that, we had to stay in hospital for a whole week, because she had jaundice, and obviously she was a preemie. And on top of that, what was the other thing? They thought one of the midwives got something wrong, which I was so annoyed about. She actually almost gave my child antibiotics. I wanted to kill her. Yeah, I didn't want my daughter to have
What hospital did you have?
St. Thomas.
Oh, both kids?
No, Brandon, I had him at Newham General Hospital, which is in East London, and Annalia at St. Thomas, because I moved areas.
Yeah. What one do you prefer?
Well, I can't really say much about Newham General, because I was there I didn't stay.
Okay,
so I didn't get... I didn't get to experience much of the hospital, but I've heard really bad things about the hospital, unfortunately.
I had Tate Westminster
That's
in
where I
Chelsea.
wanted to have.
Lovely hospital. Birthing suite's amazing. I can't really fault it other than that lady who my spirit just generally didn't take to, but that's not the hospital's fault. So yeah.
I wanted to have Annalia at Chelsea, but I just thought it was too far for me to travel. St Thomas was a bit closer. Well, it is just up the road. But the only thing I liked St Thomas. I can't lie, it was all right, but I don't like the service when it comes to the dinners and lunch times, because they expect the mums to get up with the, you know, you've got the baby.
Who's eating hospital food anyway? My family would have.
My partner would bring me food, Colombian food all the time, because I'm, you know how I'm with my Colombian food. But still, if he hadn't arrived yet to bring me my lunch or my dinner, I'd still eat it and I'd still collect whatever they want, because I'm.
No, I highly recommend Westminster.
Yeah,
of course, if you live in the area.
Sure as well.
But even like when the baby arrived, Dad's allowed to stay the night.
Yeah,
so like
same.
in the birthing suite, I don't know how it is on labour wards, a lot different. But there's no visiting hours restrictions on the birthing suite, so your visitors can come and go as they please and stay as late as possible. However, you don't want them to stay extra late, because of course you've just had a little one and you need your rest. But that was really nice. And then the room itself has like a bed, like a double bed that pulls down, so you and your partner can have a good night. Yeah,
that's so good. No,
can have a good night's sleep. You've got your own like Bluetooth, so you can play music.
So cute.
It's because that's what happened when I was giving birth to Ted. I was like, put my gospel on, like
that's
you
what
can
I
change the
forgot to
colours of the
mention.
lights, everything.
With Annalia, because obviously with Brandon, like I said, I was a young mum. I didn't plan so much. With Annalia, I planned that I was gonna buy these socks that said push at the feet and this squeeze ball, and to like when I was in pain.
Yeah.
I was gonna take snacks. I was gonna take music, a book to read. I had the whole thing planned.
To be fair, so did I. Like I got braids done because it's just like the most practical thing.
I got my nails
But
done.
then when I look back at my labour thing, I'm like, nah, my braids look like dreadlocks. And I was like, yeah, I'm gonna make sure I at least have my eyebrows done. No, I didn't even have time to, like, people have this picture in their head that that goes
I said I was gonna wear a bit of
window.
makeup this time, but
It goes out the window.
I had my eyebrows done only because I went to Mark Anthony a few days before, so they were done. I do remember being at the concert and saying, "Oh, I want to come. If I have the baby, I could have it."
At least
today.
you'll look, I'll look good.
But yeah.
No, but we hope that you've enjoyed our labour stories. I hope we didn't scare anyone too much, especially those who are first-time mums about to give birth.
The only thing I can say is I've got my little sister's pregnant at the moment, and I know it sounds really horrid that I say to her, but I do tell her it hurts, because some people.
No, it does.
It's
It depends. Do you know
painful.
what? Yeah,
People say it's
I
not.
can take pain, but I can't take discomfort. And with me, pushing was obviously very, very tiring, but I didn't find it painful because my pain tolerance is really high. However, the contractions to me was just so uncomfortable. It was just like, oh, it was annoying. But one thing one advice that I can give, and I'll leave you guys here with it, is that, of course, if you want to opt for pain relief, if you want to go for epidural, all that is down to you. As long as you can make that informed decision that that's what you want and no one's forcing you, then go for it. And don't feel like you're less of a mother or less of a person if you're going for pain relief. Like, do what's best for you and what's going to work for you during that time. However, for me, I think what kept me going was the fact that I just was very in tune with myself, and I just kept saying to myself, there's women in other countries that don't even get half of what we get during labour. And they have to do it. So if they can do it, I can do it. And I just kept on telling myself that. And I kept on just making sure that I had this in-tune relationship with myself. Even though it was almost as if I was having an out-of-body experience, I was very in tune with myself. And that's what got me through my labour, with just gas and air. Like, everything went to plan. And I'll just encourage every woman to just have that time to just, look at me, I'm getting spiritual, I close my eyes and stuff, but just literally have that moment, because you're bringing life into this world. So just embrace that moment as much as you can, even though you're in pain and all the rest of it. But as I said,
be grateful.
Yeah, and just in tune with yourself. Like, God will get you through it. Trust me.
If you believe it, trust
Honestly,
me.
like, He can get you through it. And we're made to do this. We are women, and women are made to do this, because if not, then we wouldn't have been given the job to do it, and it would be men who give birth. So just remember that.
And not all labours are the same. Obviously,
No.
I felt a lot of pain, and there was times that I felt like I couldn't carry on. But there's women out there that go into hospital and 2 minutes later they've had their, well, not literally 2 minutes later, but they have their babies very quick. They don't suffer as much pain. Everyone's different. Everyone has a different experience in pregnancies. Everyone has a different experience in labour. One thing I could say is look into, if you do choose to have birth, what's it called? Any sort of pain relief.
Yeah.
Look into the side effects. I'm not going to get all medical and that on all of you right now, because I don't even know, but I've heard a lot of stories, mainly with epidural, of the side effects and what happens after birth.
Yeah.
And I strongly believe in them, even though I didn't go through them. But I'd advise everyone to just look further into what the side effects at the end, aftermath basically of pain relief. But yeah, it, like I said, every pregnancy different, every labour is different. So you do what's best for you, but just always research what you're gonna do and the decisions you make. And well, to anyone that's expecting babies, anyone that's
good luck.
Good luck. And
we don't want to be ya.
No, also, just because I didn't get the chance to have my labours as planned, because another thing, my son was a day earlier as well, so with him, I did everything as planned, apart that I couldn't do the water birth because I couldn't hack the water. Just because it didn't work out for me to have what I planned for my labour, don't mean that. So just make the plan anyway. Make sure you have everything that you want in writing or however in your mind.
And don't get so like myself, I was so obsessed with the fact that I had done a birthing plan and everything had to go according to that plan. Don't get wrapped up in that, and just remember that whatever's best at the moment for you and the baby, go with that. Because we have these plans, we want this, we want that, but sometimes they don't go according. So just remember to do what's best for you during that moment of time. So thanks for listening, guys, and we'll see you guys soon.
Bye.